Hello and welcome again to the third episode of me being terrible. I'm on my way to get a 15 run of my Homicide Fighter, and I'm terrible at it. So let me turn on the music again, and let me try to win again. I am not going to. I'm just telling you right now. Last run was pretty good, and I did terribly. Then again, Wereblood and Beastly Appendages. I think I'll be speccing into some transmutations right away. Really? I thought I have 0 spell slots on level 1? I thought you always start with 1 spell slot. Guess I'm wrong. Oh well, let's do it as usual. Murder all things on the first floor. Now I have a spell slot. I do. So let's get Beastly Appendages and start murdering. Ooh, a crossbow. 10 crossbow. Decent range weapon this early, but generally I'd say not that useful. So, once again, for the floor 1, well, for early floors, my wish list is just get some good pieces of equipment. Would be nice to finally get a good weapon one of these runs. Had good armor for the last 2 runs, I'd say, with a +4 ring and a +2 gloves and a +1 poison resist armor, but we'll see. For now, the first floor is just kind of decent XP this time. So, let's keep going. Ooh, these guys tend to have good spears. I think I said that last time as well. They do not this time. Let's try to not die. Try to kill another one, but I failed. Let's just generally run. Important thing to remember is your life is more important than killing an enemy. Most of the time. No, that it's always more important. Do not just try to kill some guy and die because of it. Do not get tunnel vision like that, as I do sometimes, and it's a bad thing to do. Thankfully, this time everything is working out, which it's floor 2. You certainly hope everything would work out in floor 2. Getting surrounded here, but these guys are kind of super weak. Son of a... Remember how last time I said, wow, 2, or was it 3 2 magical hats and a magical helmet? Wow, I sure wish I was playing somebody who could wear those. Well, here we go again. The game sometimes really likes making fun of the things you cannot equip, rather than giving you things you can equip. Speaking of which, holy shit, we have 7 of a certain scroll. If those are 7 identify scrolls, I'm going to be a happy dude. Ooh, strength ring. Don't mind if I do. Interesting here. See, my EV, it's at 9. Put 6 strength on. EV at 10. That's my dodging. Do you know why? Because now we have higher strength and we're wearing this armor better and it has less penalties, which is pretty good. Also, I think I'll double the experience on everything but my spellcasting, so it's not as evenly spread. I do not care about my spellcasting so much that I'll just put equal amount as, well, spearmanship and so on. Speaking of which, now that I have 7, please do not be random teleportation. It is identify. Thank you. Nice. Could start identifying all the other scrolls as well. Well, not scrolls. Yeah, scrolls. But that's, I find, generally a bad idea. Identifying scrolls isn't really worth it because generally the worst thing a scroll can be is a random teleport scroll. And, well, we're a formal Sith. That's never going to be an issue for us. All other scrolls are kind of meh. They don't really do anything to you. There are some dangerous ones that you definitely don't want to read when there are enemies around, like immolation or halved willpower. But just read them when there's not enemies around. Like, Still, if I identify all the potions I have, I will definitely start using identify scrolls on my scrolls as well. Wizardry. Wizardry means you cast spells much better, which is good, but not great. And first magical item we get, a scarf. Magical scarves kind of suck, I'll be honest. They give no AC, and they can have not that great abilities. The best one is resistance to fire and ice, which is legitimately a great one. But repulsion is just alright. There's... Wow, it's so bad I can't even remember them. Stealth, I think? Darkness? Yeah, shadows. Which is also bad. Shadows, well, it activates and you become a lot more stealthy. But if you fail to cast the activation, your max HP gets drained. Yeah. It's invisibility on cast, pretty more or less, but at a great cost. And I'm not in... Not a magical hat. Not a magical hat. Magical hat. Well, I'm kind of pissed now. Anyway, the game said there is now what's it called? This floor has a sand thing. It has a crypt, essentially. There's a special thing in this game, like the sewers, a special dungeon, that can randomly spawn. And it did spawn this time. And we want to find it in time, so I'm going to start reading random scrolls and hope one of them is magic mapping. It is teleportation. Random teleportation doesn't affect us. It is noise. That sucks. It is vulnerability. Even worse. It is silence. That was the worst 3 scrolls in the game. In a row. Well, good to know the game loves me. So let's just kill these guys. Or try to kill these guys. Good to know that some enemies are still coming here. And, well, now the scrolls can't be bad. Summoning. Fuck, I wanted that one. Brand weapon. Guess it's not bad. Nice, now we have a Warple weapon and magic mapping. It was close. Actually, not really. Well, kind of. How do I get there? From here, I think. So I have to go there. Yeah, there's an enemy behind me. Doesn't really matter. I'm in a rush to get there in time. Alright, let's actually kill this guy. So, let's deal with this room. And, let's wait and heal up a bit. I'm following hiss of avalanching sand, that's fine. And let's go in. And that's why I was worried. This is the layout where they all surround you. Thankfully, they're all really slow, so you can generally do one of these. And then just take out the fast ones. And if they come from around, you do one of these. And again, kill the fast ones, particularly the snake. And keep running. A fucking artifact? Sword? Screw you, game. I can probably go in here, and undead are dumb, so they're unlikely to surround me. Mummies are smart though, so they might, and it did. So let's kill off the mummy. I did. And awesome. So what's this? Vampirism? Drain as well, which sucks. This is a good ass longsword. I am almost tempted to switch to swords. Almost. But I really want this to be a polearm run. And I technically have a branded weapon, technically. So let's stick to it. Ooh. And somehow... Alright. Let's read the scroll. Amnesia. Makes you forget a spell. Sucks, but oh well. I can just relearn it. Should probably learn Wereblood as well. Next, let's identify my scrolls. Haste, useless. Mutation, kind of great. Experience. Ooh. So experience is a free experience. Generally levels you up really fast. As you can see, it's so powerful. It's going to single-handedly raise my fighting by 2.5 levels, polearms by 2.5, armor by 2.3, dodging by 2.8, shields by 3, almost 3, 2.8 I believe, spellcasting by 1.8, transmutations by 2.7, and stealth by almost 4, like 3.9. And I'm level 7. That's one of the best potions you can get. Alright, now we're kind of OP. Beastly Appendages costs just 6% to miscast. So we can now essentially, I'll just go Q, put it on a shortcut, and before each fight, just cast Beastly Appendages. In this cast, might get Talons. Talons means I essentially get an extra attack. Talons too. Essentially have some extra auxiliary damage. Let's cast it twice. Oh no. It goes away really quickly, which is kind of strange. Should stay longer, I believe, but oh well. Now, let's go back into the temple and find Oka. Well, not back, but for the first time this time. Kind of wanted to have Oka before I go into the crypts, because that was a lot of XP I could have gotten for him. Sorry, not XP, a lot of piety. But I was in a hurry, and... well, I think one of the potions I found there was the experience potion. So if I had lost out on that, that would have been terrible. Also, new potion. It's Berserk, also known as useless to me. Let's actually drop Berserk and Haste. And I know this guy. This is one of the followers from an special elite. The elite is red, and his followers give 0 XP. He is someone I dislike to fight. And I'm going into the unknown while he's following me. Awesome. Let's do my best to just kind of not fight him. Michael, whatever. Yeah, Michael's his name. Let's avoid him. Could probably take him without too many issues. But I'd rather not try. Flame Wand though. Ooh, Flame Wand might be enough. And I think I got my first Hex and Scrolled Hibernation. Induces Hibernation. Yeah, it essentially causes the enemy to sleep. Really decent spell. Probably pick it up and learn some hexes. While I'm at it, I'll do something else. I'll set a target for spellcasting to 5. Awesome, it crashed. The game crashed on me. Please tell me it's still here. Apparently, do not write anything from the numpad. So let's try that again. Let's go here. Let's go let's go skill target, spellcasting 5.0. Ooh, hexes. Put on skill target. No, let's go for transmutation 4, and hexes can be on 3. That way, I'm not going to waste too much XP on them if I forget to turn them off. So let's keep going lower. I also forgot to mention, one of the scrolls I read gave me a Whirlpool enchantment. Whirlpool essentially means I deal extra damage, which is pretty good. I really could have used extra damage any day. So yeah, that's great. Particularly, polearms generally are lacking in terms of damage, so finding extra damage is great. Also, an offhand of energy really just gives me extra mana regen from time to time. Yeah, it occasionally powers my spells, but can confuse you or drain you of intelligence. Not really a thing for me, especially since I'm not a caster, but decent nonetheless. I feel like I'm forgetting something. I got a new scroll. Immolation. Good to know. Ooh, I'm definitely forgetting something here. Right, I wanted to search. Armor? Any boots I missed? No. Polearms. Oops. Misspelled that. Nope. Nope, I also misspelled that. Nothing except the one I'm carrying, really. And lastly, ring? No. Oh well. Ooh. Pain, agony, and excruciating agony, I believe. Wounds. Oops. That's necromancy mostly. Yeah, necromancy. I said I might dip necromancy, I believe, episode 1 or maybe 2, and I might eventually, but as long as I'm with Oka, that's really not necessary. Ooh, this guy, I should really go into melee with him. He's far more scary when he's shooting than when he's, well, fighting melee. Anyway, important thing to remember now, I probably won't go to necromancy at all. It seems like transmutation and hexes, kind of the way I'm going right now. And I'm satisfied going that way, essentially buffing myself and debuffing enemies, which is a decent pathway to go. Ooh, a glaive. Glaive's like an even stronger halberd. Longer delay, higher damage, less accuracy. I'll pick it up, but I'm doubtful I'll equip it, especially since I have a magical trident. So let's go on. Kind of worried, actually. It's been a while since I found anything really dangerous, like out of depth or elite. Except, I guess, if you want to count Pykel. This orc might kind of count. But really, it's just an orc. I say that, and I'm going to try to fight it. I'm going to get murdered. I'm taking a lot of damage, but I did not get murdered. Ooh, bear. Why did I not cast Beastly Appendages last time? Well, I was ranged. Doesn't really matter when you're too away. Alright, let's aggro these guys and find a one-way corridor. Probably the same one from earlier. Hey! Wereblood would be nice as well. But only if a weak enemy is in front of me. It didn't really happen. I thought I would kill that weaker guy first, but again, it didn't happen. This seems fine. Weak. How can you not see me, dude? Normal trolls are weak. Normal orcs are weak. Only really spellcasters and male and higher are scary. Or those random ones that can sometimes have magical weapons. Also, I think I've been mumbling a bit, so I apologize. But oh well, let's continue. Try to keep my audio, my voice at a decent range? At a decent... Oh no, volume, that's it. Also, ooh, we got a decent drop here. I do not have a necklace yet, so buying one would be good. But a +2 cloak, even though it's just +2, it's cheap and it would give me 2 AC. Which is awesome. I think I will just buy that. A Ring of Regeneration honestly wouldn't be bad. Sorry. Amulet of Regen wouldn't be bad either. But it's not good enough right now. Not at least in comparison to the +2 AC. Also, I'd say. Ooh, slow. Slow is a great spell. Slow is another hex, which, well, has the enemy to be slow. Pretty self-explanatory. Let's actually try this. I'll put appendages on me. Let's try putting him in hibernation. He easily resists. Let's try again. I fail. Try again. And nothing happens. Oh well. Eventually it will succeed and then it will be great. Let's try again. Appendages. And it worked. And then I absolutely murdered him because of it. That's the awesomeness of a good hex spell. It can decimate an unexpected opponent. Let's actually yell at these guys so they can engage me in melee. Ooh, but they have a Brigand. Brigand can not only send poison darts at you, they can also send rare darts, I believe they're called. And those can slow you. You do not want to be slowed against any enemy. Being slowed means pretty much a death sentence. But interestingly enough, I got another unknown scroll. And there's only a few scrolls it could be. I think it's Torment I'm missing, Holy Word, and Acquirement. I also think... Oh, I think I'm also missing Fog, which this will probably be. Enchant Weapon. Forgot about that. But hey, a weapon is now +1. Stuck with... like we have a DIY magical weapon. Self-made magical weapon. Of course I'm going to have to make my own before I find any good one. That's just how the luck goes for me. Oh well. Honestly. At least we have something. Oh no. This part of my playlist. This is the part where I usually start dying. Just so you know, generally how I'm planning these videos is I have a playlist that's about an hour long. I generally let the video run, me playing for about at least half an hour. Or, well, generally, at least half an hour. If I die after half hour mark, I'll probably finish. Or if I don't die, then I'll just keep playing until my playlist loops. Ooh, Guardian Spirit. Not a good necklace, but not necessarily a bad one. I'll definitely equip it, and the cool thing about Guardian Spirit is essentially your MP is now also your HP. From time to time, instead of taking HP damage, you will take MP damage. Which, yeah, well, it has its uses. Ooh, Immolation Scroll. It's not auto-picking it up, but Immolation Scrolls can be really good. So they're considered one of the pink scrolls, which are kind of risky scrolls. I actually love using them. If you find a lot of bunched up enemies, you have good fire resistance, you can cast one and easily get away. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is a Death Yak. It has 77 HP, which is a lot at this point. It has, well, not a good chance of dodging, but it deals 30 damage, had good chances to hit me. It's super duper resistance to magical attacks, and it would fuck my life up. Worst thing is, it never comes alone. There's a pack of 5 of these guys, 4 to 5 of these guys, somewhere on this floor. I do not want to meet them. Yeah, this floor is going to be a bit of a quarantine zone for me. I can take him. He's sleeping. I'll get a auto hit here. Can back off and... Oh. Orca is honored by your kill. Generally, if you kill stronger enemies, Orca will actually be more impressed by you. Also, I got level 2 with Orca now, which I believe means he'll sometimes gift me... Sorry. He'll sometimes gift me ammunition. Yeah, that's useless to me. Yeah, second Orca Bless is terrible unless you are a ranger. And as you can see, that's actually the entrance to the lair, which is pretty cool. Lair is one of the branches of the game you really want to enter, but it's surrounded by powerful enemies this time, so I'm not going to get close to it yet. Roar of Battle is very interesting. And I instantly get marked. And a huge noise happens. Thank you, game. Thank you. Marked means enemies can now very easily hit you, and they will generally know your location and come after you. This is why after I went up the stairs, there's a bunch of enemies now here. But it also means, well, the game hates you. I do not want to fight both of these at the same time. Just the Wraith, it's kind of scary. So let's do this. This is an excellent item, and I should start learning some evocations and invocations. So, I want to find the Roar of Battle, and I do have a mapping scroll. Let's actually do this. Alright, found it. So, Roar of Battle is another sub-dungeon, one that's a lot more dangerous than the sub-dungeons we fought till now. And I'm on low HP and likely will go... I don't think I have enough time to heal up and go into that sub-dungeon. So... there is no one around. Good. Access. Oops, did not mean to do that. access generally means enemies here will have, well, access. And this time seems to be ranged equipment as well. I know. Game can be weird about this. Thankfully, I seem to be able to do this. They're ranged, but they broke down the door. A broken door cannot be closed. This is a ranged one. Well, I killed enough of these guys that it's really not an issue anymore to kill a few more. Because they are being very scary right now. I'm considering a lignification portion. It's probably worth it. Hopefully there's nothing more scary here. But the cool thing about a lignification potion is, first, you get poison resistance, which is cool. Second, you get the awesome thing of 25 AC, which doesn't make you invincible, far from it, but in early and mid game, it saves your arse. Whew. Like it did just there. So now I'm full HP, and there's... Oh, was that it? It seems to be close to it. Yeah, Q rare. I am not letting you guys... Knight! With a purple trident. So now I'm on a crossroads of, do I do this or not? I think the answer is yes, but I have to have a plan. And I do have a plan. Read emulation. Activate Thunder Rod. It did not do its job, but a second one causes explosion. And it kind of did its job. Alright. Do this. Do it again. For some reason this fucker went into the fire. Ooh. There is a second one. What did you have against a second orc? It. Well, he has to walk into the fire to get to me, which is a good thing. I can snipe him till he gets here with my fire wand. Oh my god, I can't believe I actually did this. Please don't be a third one. This is the terrifying thing about this room. It has orc knights. Which, depending on which version of the dungeon it is, can be a lot of them in very dangerous versions. This one had magical access, which was kind of dangerous. But the really scary thing was, I could have been really screwed. Now have an inert lightning rod, which this is a special item. After a certain amount of XP you've gained, to just kind of refuel itself and you can use it again. It is one of the best evocation items you can ever get, especially this early. That and the Wane of Clouds, I think. Anyway, I'm really happy I got it here. This one is actually doing really well, even though I got nothing good in this sub-dungeon. But I did get a ton of money. Probably should have cast slow on that guy, so he would have been in that fire for a longer time. But it might have done actually the opposite. I think he only takes fire damage at the start of his turn, so if his turns were delayed, the fire would have gone out later and I would have done less damage, possibly. Not quite sure, but it still worked out. I also forgot to mention, but I did see I have another unread scroll. And like I said, there's only a few scrolls it can still be. Good chance it's a really good one. Likely just mist. Fog. Smoke. It was smoke. But both of these are unknown. Also, I got an Amulet of Reflection somewhere along the way, which is actually amazing against range enemies. Which would have been very useful against all those range enemies in the last dungeon. I hope I didn't have it on me, and I didn't. I hope I pick it up somewhere in there, and I haven't been carrying it around without a lot of damage, just without me noticing. So, here's a guess. Holy Word and Torment. Neither of them is acquirement. It is Enchant Armor. I forgot I didn't have one of these yet. +1 AC is decent. It is Blinking. Also forgot that one, because it does nothing for me. I kind of really wish I had acquirement. Is it obvious? I think it is. I really want an acquirement scroll. Also, any armor, please. Ooh, I stepped on a marking trap. Marking traps essentially mean, well, there's a loud noise, all enemies know where you are, and they are much more likely to hit you. Which is why you generally want to run and come back when you are no longer marked. Thankfully, not a lot of enemies were around, and not a lot of enemies found me, so I ended up being fine. I'm also, thanks to the XP potion, no. I am generally better off than an average guy around this time. Oh, thank God. I only aggroed so many bees at the same time. Alright, that's kind of a lot of bees though. I think bees come in packs of 3 to... Why are there so many gods here? 3 to 6, and that was a high roll, but not a terrible one. Is that a Wand of Earth? No. Of Death? Necromancy. Yes. Not interested. Maybe on a different run would have been. But wow, this floor is a dot. It's very empty. Just corridors, not even a lot of enemies. Generally, you want to go around to floor 10, like I have just now, and then start thinking about going into Orc or Lair. Little issue, I never found Orc, so it's in 11 or 12, and Lair is protected by powerful enemies. So I think I'll go deeper. Normally I go deeper anyway, because as long as you're careful, it's not really a big issue. And you can find some pretty good items here. Like this. +2 anti-magic spear. Anti-magic is great against magical enemies. Let's be honest, my Whirlpool weapon I have here is generally better. So I'm just going to stick to it. Also, good thing I went out when I did, because someone tried to net me, and being netted in that situation could have been bad. Still, I did find the entrance to the Orcish Lair, Orcish Dungeon, whatever, which is nice. Oh, that reminds me, I do not have scale. No, I'm looking for ring. But mine is +2, 1 anyway right at the moment. So I guess it's not a big issue if I stick with it for a bit. Ooh, armor shop. Now we're talking. Ooh. So there's a few good ones here. +2 plate mail willpower means lots of AC. Kind of don't have to care about spells that much. But on the flip side, might not have enough skill in it to wear it. +3 chainmail of fire resistance though. I definitely have enough. It's also quite high in resistance, but unless I find the fire dungeon, it isn't quite as good. +1 ring mail of fire resistance isn't even as good as the one I'm wearing, +2 scale mail of cold resistance is slightly better, but not good enough to really take it. Here's the thing. We have 8.1 armor because we drank that special XP potion. It's not, of course, enough for this, which is base armor rating of 10, but it's close. And I'll take it because it increased my AC by 7. There's also this, which is increased it by 5, but I prefer the willpower anyway. So, yeah, I'll spend 600, thank you. Let's put it on, and now we're AC 19. For a second there, I actually considered killing this troll, and if it dropped its hide to actually wear that, which it did, I would be 8, which is lower than we had, but would give me HP return. Not sure I would have done it, but it wouldn't have been a terrible decision. Also, that was a vampire with a few magical scrolls, I believe. Or maybe it was a pain spell? Not quite sure, but I am now doing very well. Well, just got apparition. Oh well. Speaking of which... Oh no, Hydra. I do not want to fuck with Hydras. I may not be a troll, which... hate Hydras. But... what to say to this? Just what to say? Lightning Rod. Lightning Rod. 7-headed Hydra. So I'll be honest here. There's a very good chance we are absolutely dead. I do have 4 healing potions, so let's activate Heroism, activate Finesse, and let's do our best. Finesse also failed, so thank you, Oka. It's 45% chance to fail, so I guess it's fair. But that was very scary. Still, that could have been very bad, to say the least. And somehow this guy is dealing me equal amount of damage. Komodo dragons do deal a lot of damage. They're supposed to miss a lot as well. Oh well. There's a lot of trolls here. The Orcish Mine version we are here to find might be the troll version. Anyway, in terms of dungeons, I will keep going down to 12. Daddy found another EXP potion. Sorry about that. Yes, please. Look at that. Big ol' XP increase. This is what we in the gaming field call get lucky, bro. And the first godly gift of Oka. +1 longbow freezing. I did mention Oka is good for getting magical equipment. But I did forget to mention Oka really likes to troll you with terrible equipment. He gives it often enough that it's really not... Or he gives it often enough that you're bound to get a good thing eventually. But he will give you quite a few shit things quite often. So get used to it. This guy's actually really scary. He can cast some dangerous spells, like I'm currently on fire because of him. And Ooh, this guy's much more scary. He can throw rocks, which deal a lot of damage. Until you get to him, he can really pound you. Thankfully, we do have the... Shit. We do have the reflection amulet, which helps with that. Really glad for that in this case. Also, let me check something. Shield. Wow, we still didn't find a single shield other than the one I found on lore. Well, the one I started with. So I'm pretty sure I can kill this guy. That's why I got him from distance for a bit. And I did indeed manage to kill him easily. Surprised he was still red though. I thought he wouldn't be by now. Like now. Let's try to net him. Which succeeded. I had terrible odds to succeed at that. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention something. An important thing about putting on the heavy armor here is spellcasting gets harder, which is why beastly appendages and all of these were now a lot harder to actually cast. So I'm going to restart learning all of these. Also, that guy was a summoner, which are generally annoying, but not a big deal. So now I have to start thinking about the branches. I think normally that would be a good place to leave it off, but what, it's been 40 minutes, I want to say? Yeah, playlist has like 15 more minutes of time, so I'll go. Normally I like to dip into Orc 1 and then go into Layer. Orc 1 generally isn't nearly as scary as Orc 2. And I find an elite right away, but it is a non-red one. So I'm going to say point proven. So let's keep trying to murder like this. This guy can really swarm you with spectral orcs. Thankfully, he's close to death, so it doesn't really matter. The issue with orc is if you leave it when there's a lot of enemies around, you are bound to be in a dangerous situation. I was really surprised why there was no sound for a moment, but I forgot the last song has a really long wind up. Yeah, I forgot. My playlist also has some jazzy remixes of the Phoenix Wright music. Woo! Oka, now we're talking. Oka gave me not just a normal shield, he gave me a tower shield. And a +6 one. Resist poison, +7 strength, +3 int. And negative cold resistance, but that doesn't really matter. Cold doesn't come up often. Now, shield rating is 13, which I only have 10, but it's still totally worth it. Ooh, SH27, shielding value. SH is essentially, well, if your shield blocks an attack, you essentially get another 27 AC, I believe is how it works. It's really good. And of course, the extra strength and int is also quite useful, especially for spellcasting. So let's actually get beastly appendages, which succeeded, and let's just tab through these guys. I am really feeling invincible right now, which is terrible. You're never invincible in this game, trust me. But I do feel quite good about my chances. Speaking of which, let's get away. Did mention you never want to feel invincible. Especially when surrounded. I can take the Orc Knight. I kind of wanted to get into melee with me, so I can take it upstairs. Find a good choke, just to be sure. Do I go heroism or... Yeah, I should go heroism. Heroism. Ooh, he hit me really hard there. Okay, I cannot take the Orc Knight. Let's Stair Dance him, or Pillar Dance him. Boys and girls, this is why you do not get cocky. So let's heal up, go back down, find the bastard, and let's try again. This time with a bit more, well, forethought. Do I shoot him with lightning or a wand of flames? Let's go flames. Nothing. That's kind of tough. Heroism, and let's try again. Heroism should give me really good odds, and it did. Thing about heroism is again, huge stat increase. So let's go down, and I can take this amount of enemies. Especially if I do this and isolate them because of stair powers. Good. This is actually a bit of a tougher orc one than usual, but still perfectly manageable. Orc one usually is even smaller than this, thankfully, thanks to it usually being blocked off, or a part of it being blocked off. This is really sus. Stone wall, there's totally a room here. I do not have a digging or something to tell me about this. Could try digging with my own ability, but that does cost me. I'll try. 1, 2. I'm not doing any more. It's suspicious, but I'm not going to try it any further than that. So let's go either layer or D13. Depth 13. Think I'll go layer. So layer is kind of scary at the moment. Because, ooh, I forgot, there's still some death yaks on the prowl here. There they are. So let's aggro them. Let's get in a one-on-one position. Do heroism appendage. That should allow me to kill at least 1 or 2 of them. Ooh, much more apparently. Oh yeah, I can take all 4 of them. One-on-one, of course. I could have not succeeded at that, but still. Ooh, there's still another one. They can roll really well, so they can be really scary. Oh well. Now, ooh, distant snort. That's awesome. That means there's a labyrinth here, which has excellent gear, pretty much guaranteed. So I really want to get there, and that's likely going to be the final thing I do this episode. But the reason why I'm kind of scared of, what's it called? Re-immolation scrolls. Awesome. The reason I'm scared of layer is I have no poison resistance. Oh, I found the entrance. Awesome. Poison resistance is king in layer. It can really kill your run if you don't have enough of it. Thankfully, not so much in this place. So, the special thing about Labyrinth. There is a few, I believe 2 or 3 chambers of fights you have to do. Like this. It's 2 in this case, with different gear at the end of each of them. This one has pair of grown boots, likely +2 boots. This one has a magical ring. I do not know what it does though. Could be anything. But it is an artifact, so it's likely to be good. So I'm currently preferring this room. But this one also has an amulet, not an artifact though, a hat and an enchant weapon. This one has boots and another artifact ring. Well, this decision is easy. If difference is, of course, there are quite dangerous enemies down here. None of them, though, that dangerous. But Quofa fire resistant potion should be able to deal with them easily. Scary thing about this room, though, is this guy, Shining Guy. He can malmutate you, which essentially means you get a permanent negative ability. Let's try to kill him before he can do that. Whew, did not do it, thankfully. Next, let's grab a mutation potion and go here. So, in here, first thing first, I want to use the fire resistance. I want to find... Ooh, I'm getting murdered by these guys. Fire elementals are really scary. So, I want to... This is lightning damage, right? Probably cast that. Yikes, did not deal nearly as much as I hoped. Let's use all the casts here. Good. Let's go into heroism. And let's try to tap my way out of this. Hellhound in particular can deal some nasty damage. Thankfully it was fine. And thankfully they're not going up here, so I'm really fighting them one-on-one here. And that seems to be the last guy. Whew. Now, thanks to all of that, I get a few good things. First boots. So just straight up +3 AC. Awesome. And I got a magic ring. Poison resistance. Oh, yes. And will and int and dex. I think I'll do it instead of my strength ring. I like being able to cast all of these spells. I'm going to keep it. Though I won't get to cast any of these before going in here. So it's probably best I put on my strength one. Also, none of them are ranged, so let's put on my Guardian Spirit necklace as well. So, this is another fire room. So as soon as I go in here, they're going to be fire-themed enemies. So I'll go here, drink another fire resistance potion, do heroism, so I'm resistant to fire, and hope to hell I do not die. Good, this was actually easier than the last room. And as a reward, I gain another ring. +4 AC, +2 slay. Don't mind if I do. 4 more protection and slay, which means you're better at hitting and killing. But the loot piñata isn't over. Now we're going to this part of the dungeon, which, hear me out, now has a Minotaur, which if you kill it, even more awesome loot. But it is red. So, I'll be honest here. Heroism, finesse, both worked, and tap worked out. Whew. He had a draining rapier, so that could have been scary. And my loot rewards are Grimoire and Rope, another Grimoire, and magical armor, and a Grimoire, and a staff. Not particularly great, I'll be honest. This is an artifact Steam Dragon Scales. Not particularly good. For this class at least. In terms of spells though, I did gain a lot of new ones. Nothing here I can see that I'd like to pick up yet. But still good. Here's another thing that might work out though. I believe I might be able to dig through one of these? No. I think if I had a wand of digging, I might be able to actually dig through this. Or if I used a random teleportation scroll, then I could have looted this side of the dungeon as well. But I'm perfectly satisfied with this. Like, holy shit, I have so much better gear than I came to this. And I have 27 AC, extra slang, so extra damage. I have poison resistance, which is really important. Extra will, which now puts me at will free. And I have, of course, a lot of dex and int. Less strength, but not quite as important, I'd say. Ooh, Ice Blast, it's really nice as well. So this is where I'll start being cocky. I can take 2 at once, nothing will happen. Well, seriously, I actually have really good stuff right now. Just checking. I was suspicious for a second. I killed a lot of enemies in that dungeon. Oka normally gives you a gift when you kill a lot of stuff. So I was worried that I maybe missed it. But here is Sonia. Sonia is a monster. She can really hurt. So she has Blink, Venomous, Short Sword. Thankfully we have, of course, the magical whatever. We have protection against poison right now. But she is very annoying, as you can see. Whew. If the fight against Sonia goes badly, you're screwed. She can always blink to you and kill you, so you can't run. She's kind of fast, so she can... If she doesn't blink, she can catch up to you. All in all, you're screwed if you're fighting Sonia. And you do not start winning. Interesting thing here is, though, I'm supposed to be able to enter this area. And I see how. Yep, that's how. 2 of these can be scary, but they aren't currently. And let's identify the last potion. I don't know. Brilliance. Alright. Do I do another floor? It's been about an hour. I think this is enough. But my favorite song is about to come up. Yeah, let's just do a new... Scary thing to see when you come in. Let's heroism. Oh yeah, Oka might not have given me anything because I have both heroism and finesse, which did use up some of my piety. I am generally using that a lot more than I probably should. So let's calm down there for a moment. And let's escape for a moment. I really got surrounded there. Do not want to get surrounded. Again, kind of surrounded, but I can turn this into a 1v1 quite easily. I say that and then he teleports behind me. Magical gloves of swiftness? Wait, is that an Oka gift? No, it's stealth. It's stealth. Stealth isn't that good. So it is +1 and I do not have gloves at all. So now I'm more stealthy. Do I have an... No, I do not. I had scrolls that enhance armor. I might have used it on that. Still, it's +1. Vein. Veins are awesome. Here's my favorite song. There's a lignification portion up here, which is good. But as it is currently, lignification potions would be actually worse because I have more AC than the potion actually gives me. And yikes, these guys are kicking the heck out of me. I believe that's because, well, he is strong as is. But also, freezing brand. Do I? Let's drink a health potion. And let's lightning him. Lightning didn't even kill him. Again, do not get cocky. This game does not let you be cocky. do not do mistakes I did earlier. Easier said, of course, than done. So, other than that one guy and another mark, wow, I am unlucky with those today. 2 at once should be fine. Other than that elite guy, that unique guy, the floor is kind of easy. I'm really worried about Hydras. Those tend to kick my teeth in, especially when I'm a troll, but that's a different kind of scariness. So yeah, this is a really easy floor. Great. Now, let me just check if I missed anything here. There is a room one that I missed on floor 1. Let's check out. It's +1 Whirlpool. Mine is also +1 Whirlpool. It's just straight up better. Seriously, the best weapon I've found is my own. Well, maybe the +2 anti-magic spear, but doesn't really count. Let's check armor. The best thing I'm generally wearing the best things already. But let's just check if I missed something before I quit. Not really. Other best things are in this shop, like these things. They're not really worth it. Let's check wings. Nope, wearing the best and only ones. How about amulet? There's a few in a shop, like the region one, which might actually be pretty good. But all things considered, I think I'm fine. Speaking of which, I am still wearing the Guardian Spirit one for the extra HP. Could switch over to Reflection, but generally, Lair doesn't really have a lot of range attacks, so should be fine. The only range attack that can happen here is if I find the Naga sub-dungeon or the Shoals sub-dungeon, which does have range attackers, which sometimes spawn outside of it. I think there might sometimes be dart shooters, but I'm not sure, and those aren't that scary right now anyway. Not at 29 AC. Anyway, this should be it. Thank you for sticking out this long, if you did. And yeah, see you in another video. Next time a continuation, because I didn't die. Yeah, that is kind of special, sadly. See ya!